Jai Hind. Saraswati Sisukunj Vagwala Borsad, Standard 5th EVS. As you know that now we are continuing with your test, and regarding that today is your revision's first video, right? As we are starting our revision with long question answers. So today we will learn question number 3, answer the following questions in detail, right? Answer in detail. Understand? Right? Okay. So here first question. See. Why has government made laws to protect wild animals? And second number question, how has these laws affected communities like snake charmers, madaris and circus people? Now these both questions are related with each other. Here why they made means why government made laws, and here what happens after making the law to this kind of peoples, right? To understand this answer, we need to understand what was the laws which is made by government. So the laws was that we cannot kill any wild animal, we cannot keep any wild animal with us, right? Okay, so let's check answer. So answer is some people kill the animals and sell their skin and keep them. To stop these activities, government made laws to protect wild animals. Now understand, in the beginning I told you that some people kill wild animals, right, and they are keeping those animals with them, right? Actually that is illegal, because there are some people, I am not talking about all, some people are keeping animals in very bad conditions, right? And that is really against, you know, they are also living things, so that it should be stopped. Because of that government made the law, right, that we cannot kill. Look, this is important, killing the animal, right, selling their skin and keeping the animal. So this is strictly prohibited after the laws. Okay, now what happens after these laws? What happens with the people? Now which people are connected with animals? See here, snake charmers, madaris, circus people. These many people are connected directly with their profession, with animal, right? Their profession is with animals. So what will happen now? What are their conditions, how they are living, right? So that explanation we require here. So let's see answer. Snake charmers, madaris and circus people earn their livelihood from these wild animals, right? As we all know that snake charmers are connected with snakes, right? Madaris are also connected with some animals like monkey, right? And circus peoples, they are connected with lion, tiger and many more other animals. So now this people are totally depends on animals as their livelihood, right? They are earning money from the animals, so they are totally depends on animals. So now they are struggling for their survival. Now it is too difficult for them to survive, to earn money, right? And for their stomach, right? To earn money for their stomach, it is too difficult, right? So just take a look of these two answers. Now see how snake charmers find out which snake has bitten a person. That is third number question, right? Okay, so in the chapter we discussed that snake charmers have some abilities that they are able to identify by the snake bite, by the marks of a snake bite, that which snake has bitten a person, if it is poisonous or if it is non-poisonous. Let me remind you, if there are 2 fang marks on a person's body, then it is poisonous snake, and when there are many fang marks on the person's body, it means it is non-poisonous snake. So same thing you have to write in answer, right? So let's see answer. They observe the fang marks on person's body. If many fang marks means non-poisonous snake, right, as I informed you, and means non-poisonous snake has bitten a person. If there are 2 fang marks means poisonous snake has bitten a person. If many means non-poisonous. If 2 fang marks means poisonous snake has bitten a person. Let's move on. Fourth number question. What happens to the food in stomach, right? This is for digestion system, right? As I explained you that your stomach will churn the food and it will convert that food into fine paste, and many more digestive juices get added, right? Hydrochloric acid will also get added in your food, right? And then the remaining fine paste will move in your small intestine. So same information we have to write. Let's see answer. The food remains in the stomach for a few hours. The stomach churns food and changes it into fine paste, right? As I explained you before the answer. The stomach adds digestive juices and dilute hydrochloric acid. In short, if we if I want to explain you in short, then 2 things. It churns food, makes fine paste. and more digestive juices and hydrochloric acid is added inside the stomach, right? Just take a look of answers. See, 5 number question, what happens to the food in small intestine, right? Okay, so I explain you about the stomach. Now that food will move into small intestine. Now what will happen in small intestine? I told you that all kind of nutrients which is present in the food will be absorbed inside the wall of small intestine. More digestive juices get added, right? And then your digestion of the food is completed here in small intestine. So let's see answer. Answer is, in the small intestine some more digestive juices mix with the food, right? The juices help in digesting carbohydrates, proteins and fats present in the food. Digestion is completed in the small intestine. As I explained you that it will move in small intestine, now some more digestive juices is added, mixed with it, and that juices will help in digesting nutrients, means these are the nutrients, carbohydrate, proteins, fats, right? So that juices will help in the digestion of this kind of nutrients, and the digestion will completed in the small intestine. Now let's move towards the 6th number question. What happens to the food in the large intestine, right? What happens to the food in large intestine? Now this food which was digestion is completed in small intestine, it will move in the large intestine, and now what will happen inside the large intestine? Now whatever water which is present in the fine paste of your food, it will absorb by the walls of large intestine, right? The waste carrying some water inside it, that water will absorb by the wall of large intestine, and then it will be removed from the anus, right? So let's see answer. A large portion of the food that we eat, it remains undigested, right? The undigested food enters the large intestine, and most water which is present in that undigested food is taken back into the blood from the large intestine, right? As this answer I already explained to you before the question, that undigested food will move from small to large intestine, and there is a water which is remaining undigested part, or we can say there is a waste, right? With that there is some water, it will be taken back into the blood from the large intestine walls. Okay, so just take a look of answers. Okay, so now 7 number and last question of question number 3, answer the following. Long one, see here, write down steps. How did brothers make Mamidi Tandra, right? Mamidi Tandra means am papad. So there are many steps, right? As you have seen that answer, there are many steps. So let's see answer. Brothers made Mamidi Tandra by following steps. They bought a mat, poles of casurina tree, strings made of cotton husk, some sugar and jaggery, right? So these are the things which is required to make Mamidi Tandra, right? Mat, poles of casurina tree, strings made by cotton husk, some sugar and jaggery. Now what we will do means, what brothers did with that thing, they made high platform by using poles of casurina tree mat in their backyard, right? They fixed that pole and then they spread that mat on that poles. Then they peeled mangoes, right? And they extracted pulp and juice in a vessel. They extracted pulp and juice of a mango in a vessel. The pulp was strained through a fine muslin cloth to remove fibers, right? They strained the pulp through a fine muslin cloth. They added sugar and jaggery in an equal amount, right? Remember this, sugar and jaggery is added into the pulp in equal amount in the pulp and mix thoroughly. Then you have to mix, means those brothers mix that sugar and jaggery inside the pulp. The mixture was spread into a thin layer on a mat, was left to dry in the sun, means like in backyard they spreaded the mat, so they will spread that pulp on that mat. They covered the mat with a clean sari in every evening to avoid any dust. Then that layer you have to cover with a sari. On the mat there is a layer, and then that mat you have to cover with sari to avoid dust. Another layer of mixture prepared by the same steps by given above, right? Given above steps, we have all the steps, we have to repeat that again, and we have to prepare again that juice, and we have to spread that layer again on the previous layer. The whole process was repeated day after day until the layer grew 4 centimeter thick, right? Again and again you have to extract the pulp, you have to add sugar and jaggery, and then you have to spread on the previous layer. You have to wait until that layer becomes 4 centimeter thick. Brothers also did same. Then after few days the layer was taken out and cut into pieces. Then you have to take that layer out from the mat, then you have to cut into pieces. Brother also did the same thing, means we have to write for the brothers, right? Okay, so I think all steps are clear for you. Just take a look of steps. Question number 3b, give reasons. See here. First number, snake charmers remove fangs of poisonous snake, right? So I explained you in chapter as snake charmers remove fangs of poisonous snake to make poisonous snake non-poisonous, right? So let's see answer. To make the snake non-poisonous, snake charmers remove fangs of poisonous snake, right? As I explained you. Okay, so let's see second number question. Snakes are treasure for snake charmers. Why snakes are treasure? Because these snakes, they transfer from one generation to other generation. That is why we can say that snakes are treasure for snake charmers. So let's see answer. So answer is snake are treasure for snake charmers that they pass from one generation to other one, right? So as I told you, these snakes are so close to snake charmers. As we are passing gold and our land and many more, right? House, we pass from one generation to other generation. But for snake charmers, these snakes are for treasure. These snakes are treasure, so they pass snakes from one generation to other generation. Now let's see third number question. Snakes are farmers' friend. So as we all know, what is food for snake? Rats, and rats damage fields, right? So we can say that rats are danger for the farm, right? So this snake eat rats and help farmers. That is why we can say snakes are farmers' friend. So let's see answer. Answer is snake help the farmers by eating the rat in fields. So snakes are farmers' friend, right? Do you understand, right? Okay, let's see 4 number. Snake charmers, madaris, circus people, etc. are struggling for their survival. As we all know that government introduced laws to protect the wild animals. So that is why the people who are directly connected with the animals for their livelihood or earning, they are struggling, right? They are not getting food, right? It is too difficult for them to survive. So why they are surviving? Because of government's law, right? So let's see answer. So snake charmers, madaris and circus people are totally dependent on animals. Government made laws that no one can catch the wild animals and keep them. So now the circus people, madaris and snake charmers are struggling for their survival, right? Okay, now let's see 5 number question. A person suffering from loose motion and vomiting is given glucose drip, right? Why that person is given glucose drip? Because glucose drip gives strength and energy to that person even without eating any kind of food, so that person get recovered faster. That is why a person which is suffering from loose motion and vomiting is given glucose drip. So let's see answer. So answer is a person suffering from loose motion and vomiting is given glucose drip because the glucose drip gives strength quickly to the person even without eating any food, right? That glucose drip, right? It is full of glucose. It will go in your body and it will increase the strength of a person. That is why that glucose drip is given to a person who is suffering from loose motion and vomiting, right? Just take a look of all answers. So let's go for give reason 6 number. You feel weak when you have upset stomach and vomiting, right? So why you feel weak when you have upset stomach and vomiting? Because your body loses energy, right? There will be less water in your body. That is why you feel weak when you have upset stomach and vomiting. So let's see answer. When your digestive system is upset. Now here in the question it is written your stomach is upset, but the meaning is same, right? Stomach is upset means digestive system is upset, right? It loses water, right? It lost water and food both, means your body is losing water and food, both the things, right? That is why you feel weak when you have upset stomach and vomiting, because your body is not keeping food and water, so your body is not getting energy properly from the food. That is why you feel weak, right? So let's go for 7 number question, that is food grains are dried in the sun before being packed, right? Because look, if water is present in the food grain, it will allow that, if it is open, if that food grains are open, then moisture will sit on that, and that moisture will allow the germs to settle on the food grains and it will spoil quickly. That is why it should be dried in the sun before being packed. So let's see answer. Answer is food grains are dried in the sun to remove moisture from that food grains. Moist food grains will allow bacteria to grow on it, right? So that is why moisture should be removed from the food grains before it is being packed. Let's see 8 number question. Food kept in refrigerator remains fresh, right? Food which you kept in refrigerator remains fresh. Why? Because germs which are present in the food will not do their activities quickly in cold temperature, right? Otherwise we can say that food which is kept in refrigerator, germs will not be in the contact with that food which is kept in the refrigerator. That is why it remains fresh for the longer time. Okay, so now let's see answer. Food kept in refrigerator remains fresh because cold temperature of refrigerator slow down activity of germs and keep the food fresh. I explained you, right? In cold temperature there will be less activity, or we can say there will be activity of the germs will slow down. That is why your food remains fresh. Now let's go for 9 number question. Food grains kept in airtight container remains fresh for a longer time, right? Food which you kept in airtight container, it remains fresh for longer time, because look, food grains, right, if it has water, or we can say if it has moisture, then moisture will allow that germs to settle on the food grains and it will spoil, right? So this airtight container will not allow any kind of air circulation and moisture to set on the food grains. That is why it remains fresh for the longer time. So now let's see answer. Food grains kept in airtight container remains fresh for a longer time because it is dried and does not get air and moisture. When it is kept in airtight container, it will not get moisture and air from the atmosphere, so it remains fresh and even it will not germinate, right? When you are keeping it in airtight container, right, it will not get air and moisture, so it remains fresh, right? So just take a look of answers. So I hope you understand all topics. Question number 3A and question number 3B you understand, that is answer in detail and give reasons. So please do your worksheet carefully. Thank you.